Hello and Merry Christmas! In today's video, I'm going to be revisiting a concept from 2 years ago, I think? Hold on, let me check. Okay, so apparently I started my channel in 2021, which is something you'd think I know, but I totally thought I'd been doing this longer than that. I can't believe it's only been a little over 2 years. That's crazy. But anyways, this concept was one of my very first videos. In fact, it was my first video if you don't count my initial welcome to my channel, drawing my channel art video that I did. But this video was drawing cats within this sad, broken snow globe, so that I could remember it forever. Since it was pretty cute, but because of the condition it was in, I was gonna have to get rid of it. As you can see in the picture, it's like cloudy and discolored for some reason. Weather, am I right? So I drew this one picture of the cats within the snow globe, and then I decided to draw them as humans in the same video. And I think they turned out pretty cute. So this year I was thinking, what is something Christmassy I could draw for this year? Since I didn't draw anything Christmassy last year, and since I kind of love these cat people characters that I randomly created, despite not having drawn them since their creation, with them being Christmas themed and all, I decided to do a redraw of them. And they're the only Christmas theme I could think of, at least one that I wanted to draw or had an idea for. So I thought a redraw would be a fun way to compare how much my art has improved. I mean, hopefully it's improved. At least how much it's changed. You'll have to let me know what you think. Some of the things I do differently now comparatively to then was, well, for one thing, my sketches look completely different. I use the pencil brush instead of the pen, which is what I apparently used for sketching back then. And I do more construction and like a cleanup sketch. I draw with thinner lines for my line art now, and I don't give everybody super pointy chins, which is for some reason something that I used to do. Though in this picture specifically, they didn't actually have that pointy of chins. And by this picture, I'm referring to the original picture of them as humans, not this one in this video. And I decided to make this picture a full body picture instead of just like the halfway up that I had done originally. As well as the fact that I made the fur on their clothes and hats and everything more fluffy looking. Comparatively to how I originally drew them, they was just kind of round. It wasn't really fluffy looking. So I tried to make it look more fluffy. And that's just to name a few things. Let me know if you can point out any other things I've changed. So as I mentioned, these characters started out as cats, but I wanted to design them as humans, which is something you're probably very familiar with me doing if you've been around on my channel before. So originally I drew them as cats and then as humans, but in this picture I drew them as humans and cats in the same picture. Mayhaps they just look like they're cats, or maybe they turn into cats at some point in their story. Though I don't really know what their story is, so if you have any ideas, let me know. And if you have any ideas for names, let me know that as well, because I haven't fully decided on names for them yet. I mean, I did name them, but I'm not totally sold on the names I gave them. From left to right, the gray one is Gracie, which is cute, but possibly too on the nose, though I did have a gray cat named Gracie once, so maybe it makes sense. The tan cat I named Kitty, which again is on the nose, but for a different reason. The white one is Snow, which isn't really a person name, and of course again very obvious. And the orange cat is Oscar, who I thought about naming Oliver, but I kinda already have a character by that name. And it's a good thing I changed it too, because then I remembered that there's a Disney movie with an orange cat named Oliver, and you know that would be the first thing people would think of. But as you can see, I just kinda named them the most obvious names that were the first to pop into my head. Except for Oscar, I don't know if that's really obvious, but maybe because he's orange and Oscar starts with an O just like orange does, or maybe I'm reading into that too much. Though I was gonna name him Oliver, which also starts with an O. Either way, I think it's kinda cute, since that's usually how cats get named. So I like their names, but I'm still open to suggestions. Also, if we're going with the story that the cats and the humans are not one and the same, then they'll need different names. Personality-wise, Gracie is more calm and put together, but I also kind of feel like she's secretly a baddie. Like, she's a responsible leader type. Kitty is more of the kind, quiet, shy one. Snow is like proper and snooty. And Oscar is the comedy relief. I kept their hair designs mostly the same, though I did change a couple of things. The most notable being that I gave Kitty short hair instead of long hair. I do think she looks cute with the long hair, but specifically in this picture, the short hair just looked good on her. And plus, it's been a few years. Maybe she cut her hair. And also something that I want to point out, in the original drawing I wanted to reflect the fact that they were kind of supposed to look like the cats. So just like the cats, they had a hat on one side of their head, and then the cats had an ear sticking out of the other side. But for the people, they didn't have cat ears because I didn't want to make them half cat people things, because I didn't think that was the vibe, and I also wanted to have cat version and human version, you know? Anyways, so I decided to make their hair look like there was something about it that was like floofy on the one side and like sticking out. to look like the cat's ear, like standing out. So that's one of the reasons I decided to design their hair like I did, and specifically why Kitty has like a bow made of hair, which is kind of weird, but I feel like it's totally a doable thing. Like you just kind of like loop your hair around and then pin it in place. And I think it's cute, so I kept it in this picture too. Also, I am going to continue calling them by their designated names, so that we can all be on the same page of who I'm talking about. Even though, like I said, not totally sold, but I mean, I'm kind of sold. So you guys just have to let me know if you agree with the names. I think the weirdest one for me is Snow, because like I said, it's not really a human name, so we'll see. Also, speaking of Snow, I gave him heterochromia, which is 2 different colored eyes, since he was a fully white cat, and I have seen fully white cats with heterochromia, as well as the fact that since he was fully white, I wanted to give more interest to his look. And that is something that I had done in the original drawing. The original cats in the snow globe didn't have eye colors, so I just kind of went with whatever, and I kept those same eye colors in this redraw as well. I used most of the same colors actually. I didn't think I did too bad of a job with my original picture when it comes to the character design, which is part of the reason I decided to redraw it. In fact, I actually liked the way I had originally designed their outfits, so I kept them pretty much as they were. So good job past me, high five, clap and a half, but you guys let me know what you think of their outfits. Do you like them, and what would you change about them? I feel like most people would give the girls pants or something instead of skirts, because, yeah, wearing skirts in the snow probably isn't the best idea. But they look cute! And I think it goes with the rest of their outfits. Not to mention, I did give Kitty leggings and Gracie tights, so I think it cancels it out. Plus, people, myself included, wear skirts in the winter, so it's not that crazy. Unless you want to go the route that those people are crazy, which is valid. Another thing I did with their outfits was the original cats in the snow globe all had bow ties, which was cute in the snow globe and made sense because it kind of looked like they were little kitten carolers. But to make things more fun and interesting and give them all more personality in my drawing, I gave them all different styles of bows, which I think is super cute. I think my favorite cat in this picture is the white one, so Snow or Snow's cat, I don't know. I haven't decided on the lore, but I think he's my favorite in this picture because he's so cute and proper and snooty and such a typical cat. And he kind of looks like a fox to me for some reason. I mean, I'm still not great at drawing cats, but even so, I think they all turned out pretty cute. But yeah, the white cat is my favorite. I think he turned out really cute. And for some reason, the gray cat in the snow globe had a different hat. It was green and red and not just red. So I'm thinking about changing it to make them all match, but I decided to just keep it like the original. Even though it's weird because they were all wearing matching ties, but not all matching hats. Like, what was that about? Anyways, I also didn't give the cats hats because, I don't know, cats don't really like hats. Except for Cat in a Hat, apparently. And I think that would just be too much in the picture. So I didn't give the cats hats, but I gave the cat people hats. And the cats still have their bows. So since this was a redraw, I was trying to make it kind of as perfect as possible because I definitely wanted it to be better than the first time I did it. I kind of wanted it to be like when you see this picture comparatively to the old one, you're just like immediately like, wow, you've improved kind of thing, because I mean, that's what every artist wants, is to improve. Which of course I always try to draw my pictures as good as possible, but I try not to worry too much about it being perfect because I know it's not going to be perfect. But yeah, with this picture, some parts of it just look wonky, and I can't tell if it's me or not. Like, maybe I've just been staring at it for too long. But for one thing, I definitely think that Gracie's face looks weird. So I can't tell if that's just me over-analyzing because I was like thinking like this picture has to be like perfect and like better than the original. Which I think is what it is. I think this picture probably is a little bit wonky, but I think I'm just hyper-focusing on the flaws because, like I said, I was trying to make it better than the original. And I definitely think it is, so I'm not gonna worry too much about the wonky parts. So please have mercy on me. I'm sorry, I'm not a perfect artist or a perfect human being. But something else I did with this picture that I didn't do with the original was give it more of a background. The original was just kind of blue, but this time I definitely wanted to give it a background. So I made them outside in the snow with it snowing and everything. Basically similar to the original, just more fleshed out, I guess. More like it's a full body picture and there's like trees and mountains in the background and that sort of thing. And I think it turns out pretty cute. I think the background looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. I'm not that good at background, so pretty proud of this one. One thing I noticed with this picture though is that the girls are both on one side and the guys are on the other side, and I can't tell if I like or hate that. Because in the original picture, I put them in the same order as the cats in the snow globe, which was like girl, guy, which I can't remember if I did that on purpose or not. Like, I don't remember if I chose which one was gonna be a girl and which one was gonna be a guy based off of that. I think it was kind of just like personality based. Like, I can't remember if I fully drew the picture of them as cats first, or if I was already having the ideas for them as humans while I was still working on the cat picture. I don't remember. But I think I was possibly going off of, like, color and personality. Like, I was like, this one's this color, which kind of reminds me of, like, a guy, and it's, like, its personality kind of looks like this kind of thing, and, like, this one makes me think of a girl. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. And I didn't put them in the same order as originally because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do for this drawing yet, or like what I was gonna do for the pose, so I was just kind of throwing out some sketches of what some poses could be for the different characters, and so I decided on them sitting like this, and I just arranged them based off of the way that they were sitting and how well they could fit next to each other. Okay, but speaking of Christmas, what are your guys' Christmas traditions, if you have any? I'm very curious to know what other people do. For my family, I usually decorate a gingerbread house, which isn't that much of a tradition, but I like doing it, and I pretty much do it every year, so. And I did do it this year, pictures on my Instagram if you're curious. But like, a full-on tradition of ours is that we decorate the tree while listening to Christmas music, drinking hot chocolate out of special little snowman mugs that we have, usually on the first Saturday after Thanksgiving, so not like the Black Friday Saturday, but the one after that. Another thing we do is we'll drive around town a few days before Christmas when it's dark and look at all the Christmas lights, look at people's houses and how they're decorated, and we point out which ones we like, which sounds kind of weird because you're just like driving by people's houses looking at them, but it's fun and like people don't notice, you know, like as long as we're staring at people, okay? We're just looking at the pretty lights. And there's this one house that pretty much every year broadcasts like a radio signal, and they have their lights connected to it, and you can like turn to that station, and then like the lights will like dance and change colors and be all themed around the song, which is pretty cool. Also, if you haven't noticed yet, yes, Christmas is one of my favorite holidays, next to Halloween, which is kind of weird. It's like the polar opposite sides of me. I also really like the 4th of July though, because we get to blow stuff up. But anyways, another tradition we do is we read the original Christmas story first thing Christmas Day before opening gifts. And of course, we watch all the Christmas movies. Is your family the kind that watches Christmas movies all year, or are you like my family that have like Christmas movies off limits until after Thanksgiving? Speaking of Christmas movies though, what are some of your family favorite Christmas movies? To name a few that my family watches like every year, one of my mom's personal faves is Polar Express, which I actually kind of like now. I always thought it was like really weird, which it is, but I think that now that I'm older, I understand the weirdness more in the sense that I still don't understand it, I just like it because it's weird. Another one of my mom's faves is A Christmas Carol. There's this one Disney version, which I didn't even know was made by Disney until this year. Or maybe they just bought it, I don't know. But it's like really creepy, like the animation they use for it is super weird. It almost looks real, but like not that much, but it kind of looks real. And it's creepy, okay? I think it's creepy. But of course, you probably know that I like creepy, so there's that. But my personal favorite, A Christmas Carol, is the like OG Disney version with Scrooge McDuck. I don't know why, but I just love that version. It kind of gives me like traditional Halloween vibes mixed with Christmas, and I love both of those things, like I previously mentioned. Especially OG Halloween, like the very traditional, like, yes. Like creepy, but in like a, like, innocent kind of way. Does that make sense? I've tried explaining it before in another video and I still can't, so moving on, I guess. My dad's favorite Christmas movie is It's a Wonderful Life, and we also all like Jingle All the Way because it's absolutely crazy. And that was definitely my brother's favorite at some point. I don't know if it still is. I think it probably is though. Oh, and something I almost forgot, the like old-timey original Christmas stories, like the ones about like Rudolph and the Santa Claus coming to town. It's like the kind of weird claymation ones. Claymation is weird, okay? And my mom's favorite, The Little Drummer Boy. Pointing all these out, I'm starting to wonder if I even have a favorite Christmas movie, because I'm like trying to remember. I'm like, do I have a favorite Christmas movie? I think I kind of just like all of them. But I can't really think of any that specifically stand out as like, yes, this is my absolute favorite. Though if I had to choose, I might say that my mom has convinced me to love The Polar Express, so there's that. Other classics are, of course, A Christmas Story, The Nativity, I think it's called, and we usually watch The Santa Claus, though we actually haven't this year, so maybe we should do that. And I'm probably forgetting some. Other Christmas movies we watched this year, there were actually a couple new ones. One was called Genie, which was pretty good actually. Though weirdly enough, it was kind of like a Jingle All the Way meets Aladdin. Not exactly, but kind of similar. Though it wasn't too bad, so maybe give that a watch if you're interested. The other one we watched was Candy Cane Lane, which honestly was pretty good. It was completely unique storyline from anything I've ever seen done in a Christmas movie, which is pretty impressive. And it was pretty cute. I'd totally recommend if you're looking for a Christmas movie to watch. But let me know what are some of your guys' favorite Christmas movies, and what are ones that are like absolute tradition, you have to watch it every year. But okay, I can't really think of anything else to talk about, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking now so you can enjoy watching the drawing while listening to some nice little Christmas music. Merry Christmas, everyone. God bless. I hope you're having an amazing Christmas. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, love you, bye, and Merry Christmas!